finally did it! Our very first video. Hi, thanks for dropping by. Here at Walking Phrase, we answer your most pressing linguistic questions that you didn't even know you could ask. Let's have a little celebration for this very special occasion. How about a drink? We suggest a cocktail. Everyone knows what a cocktail is. A mixed, mostly but not always alcoholic beverage. But do you know why we call cocktails cocktails? Now the source of the word remains unclear. There are several stories around the word cocktail. The most common story has its roots in New Orleans in 1795. In New Orleans, pharmacist Amédée Peychaud, inventor of the Peychaud bitters, held social gatherings at his pharmacy. He mixed brandy toddies with the bitters which we mentioned earlier and served them in an egg cup. In French, that's a cocktail. Over the decades it turned into cocktail and later transformed into the cocktail we know and cherish. You know what else has a cocktail? Dick butt. And that leads us to dick. Like cock, dick is used as a pejorative term for the male sexual organ and as figurative speech for an awful person. The story goes back to the days when Richard was one of the most common English names. Well, according to Wikipedia, Richard is still one of the most common names in many Western countries. Anyway,
ain't nobody got time for that.
And naturally, Richard became Rick. And what rhymes with Rick? You guessed right. Which is also why the nickname for Richard is Dick. Richard or Dick, the incredibly common name, became synonymous for the everyman, the normal guy in the street. Over time, the image of the common fellow spiraled downwards. British soldiers made dick popular as a word for penis, and what once was the neutral common everyman became the common dick we know. Now we're not sure if Richard Wagner had a nickname, but we do know that in some regards he was a major dick, being an anti-Semite and all. But we're definitely sure that he composed the world-famous Ride of the VALKYRIES. Simply epic. But who are the VALKYRIES anyway? We need to travel up north to the old Vikings to find out. In Norse myth— no, not the Marvel guys. Thank you. In Norse mythology, Valkyries are female figures who decide which warriors die in battle and which live. The word Valkyrie derives from Old Norse VALKYRJA, which is composed of two words, the noun valr, referring to the slain on the battlefield, and the verb kjósa, meaning to choose. Together they mean chooser of the slain. The old Vikings knew how to build a kick-ass mythology, and Richard Wagner, he knew how to make epic music out of it. If you ask us, that's awesome. Maybe even more awesome than awesome. You could say Über awesome. Über or Über is used as a prefix in informal English to express emphasis. In German, Über simply means over, above or across. Nothing awe-inspiring. The prefix first came into English with Friedrich Nietzsche's term of the Übermensch. He used the word in his book Thus Spoke Zarathustra from 1883. Übermensch in German means superhuman or superman and describes a concept of an ideal human as a goal humanity should strive for. The use of Über seriously took off in the 2000s when films, video games and TV shows used it in the sense of super. So you can thank friends.
What's that? Überweis. It's new, it's German, it's extra tough.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
What's it want? All of us dead. But for now, it looks like sunlight's keeping this Uber vamp away.
Ice Age.
I suggest you watch your back, 'cause I'll be chewing on it.
Hey, Uber tracker! Up front where I can see you.
Help me. And Team Fortress 2.
I am the Übermensch!
Awesome gift that is Über. Thank you for watching the first episode of Walking Phrase. If you have a question about language, please leave a comment below or contact us on Twitter and Tumblr. And if you want to keep learning about language shenanigans, please make sure to subscribe.